The West Philippine Sea has become a global stage, a vast expanse of blue that now captures the attention of the world's most powerful nations and international observers alike. Here, a high-stakes geopolitical drama is unfolding, with every move and counter-move scrutinized by governments, analysts, and ordinary citizens across the globe. The Philippines, with its long and storied coastline and a deep maritime heritage stretching back centuries, is now taking a firm and determined stand against China's sweeping claims over these contested waters. This isn't simply a contest of military might or firepower, but a complex battle of strategy, international law, and the forging of strong alliances with like-minded nations. The Philippines is leveraging its legal victories, such as the landmark 2016 arbitral ruling, building international friendships, and embracing transparency to assert its rights and protect its people. Tensions remain high, with Chinese vessels regularly confronting and attempting to block Philippine ships at flashpoints like Ayungin Shoal, creating dangerous and unpredictable situations at sea. Despite facing water cannons, aggressive maneuvers, and constant intimidation, the Philippines persists, documenting every incident, gathering evidence, and sharing these encounters with the world to ensure nothing goes unseen. This commitment to transparency transforms each confrontation into a global test of public opinion, rallying support and putting pressure on those who would ignore international law. Unlike previous administrations, the current government has decisively pivoted away from appeasement, revitalizing its alliance with the United States and actively building a coalition of supportive nations to strengthen its position. Countries like Japan, Australia, and several European states now openly back Manila's right to operate freely in its exclusive economic zone, sending ships and statements of support. This growing international support reframes the dispute, turning it into a fight for freedom of navigation, the rule of law, and the rights of all nations to access the world's oceans without fear or coercion. At its core, the Philippine position is about upholding a rules-based order at sea, anchored in the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS. Manila isn't just defending a few remote shoals or reefs, it's standing up for the principle that law, not brute force, should govern the oceans and protect the rights of all coastal states. This principled stance has earned the Philippines global respect as a steadfast defender of international law and the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, inspiring other nations facing similar challenges. By standing up to China, the Philippines is upholding a system that benefits all maritime nations, ensuring that the world seas remain open, peaceful, and governed by rules rather than by might. The world is watching closely as Manila transforms what was once a regional dispute into a global cause, setting a powerful example for others to follow. The Philippines' unwavering resolve is reshaping the narrative in the West Philippine Sea, showing that courage and principle can alter the course of history. This struggle is not just about territory or resources, it's about the future of the international order, the sanctity of law, and the hope for a more just and peaceful world. The Philippines is proving that even a middle power, when united and principled, can make waves on the world stage and inspire nations everywhere to stand up for what is right. In 2013, the Philippines made a bold move by taking China to court under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS. This was a historic step, as few dared to challenge a global superpower through legal means, especially on such a complex and high-stakes issue as the South China Sea. Many doubted that a legal case could ever sway a nation as powerful as China, but Manila placed its trust in the international legal system. Filipino officials and legal experts worked tirelessly, gathering evidence and building a case that would stand up to global scrutiny. Their hope was that the rule of law could provide a path forward where diplomacy and force had failed. The 2016 arbitral tribunal ruling was a landmark victory for the Philippines and for international law. The tribunal declared China's sweeping 9-line claim to be baseless under UNCLOS and affirmed that key features in the South China Sea were part of the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. This decision clarified maritime rights and set a precedent for similar disputes worldwide. This ruling gave Manila a powerful legal and moral foundation for its actions in the region. While China rejected the decision outright and refused to participate in the proceedings, the impact of the ruling continues to resonate. It shifted the narrative, providing legitimacy to the Philippines' claims and putting international pressure on China. Although the award lacks direct enforcement mechanisms, its diplomatic and reputational weight is significant. Filipino diplomats now cite settled international law, not just national opinion, when engaging with other countries and organizations. This has strengthened their position in negotiations and international forums. The ruling provides a common language for global support, shifting the dispute from a political squabble to a clear legal case. This clarity has galvanized international backing, making it easier for other nations to support the rule of law and to stand with the Philippines in defending maritime rights. The 2016 award didn't physically remove Chinese ships from contested waters, but it gave the Philippines a lasting anchor in turbulent geopolitical seas. The legal victory transformed the conflict's narrative, strengthened Manila's hand, and provided a framework for peaceful resistance and continued advocacy. It's a model for how smaller nations can use law to level the playing field against more powerful adversaries. The Philippines' legal strategy remains central to its broader campaign for sovereignty and maritime rights. The world now sees Manila as a champion of international law and a defender of the rules-based order. The Arbitral Award stands as a beacon for all nations defending their maritime rights. It is a reminder that even in turbulent waters, the law can serve as an anchor, offering hope and guidance for those who seek justice on the world stage. The Philippines knows it can't face China alone, especially as tensions in the South China Sea continue to escalate and the stakes grow higher for regional security. So, it's building a powerful coalition, one that stretches far beyond its own shores and brings together allies from across the globe. Its alliance with the United States, anchored by the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty, is stronger than ever, with both nations reaffirming their commitment to each other's security in the face of new challenges. Joint patrols and expanded military exercises now send a clear message of unity and readiness, deterring potential threats and building trust between forces. Japan and Australia have become key partners, providing not just patrol vessels and training, but also engaging in joint operations and intelligence sharing in the West Philippine Sea. European nations like the UK, France, and Germany have sent ships, conducted freedom of navigation operations, and voiced strong support for the 2016 Arbitral Award that upholds Philippine rights. These partnerships are more than symbolic. They create a collective front that raises the cost of aggression, making it clear that any threat to the Philippines is a concern for the wider international community. The Philippines welcomes these naval transits as proof of global commitment to a rules-based order, and as reassurance that it is not standing alone. This growing network of support increasingly isolates China diplomatically, reframing the dispute as a global issue about international law, not just a bilateral quarrel. Manila isn't building a formal alliance to contain China, but weaving overlapping partnerships, military, economic, and diplomatic, that amplify its voice and influence on the world stage. Each new partner adds strength to the cause of international law, reinforcing the message that the Philippines' sovereignty and maritime rights matter to many. The Philippines' struggle is now a shared one, resonating with nations that value stability, peace, and the rules that keep the world order intact. Coalition building is Manila's smart, modern answer to regional power politics, turning its challenge into an opportunity to lead and inspire a united global response. The Philippines has turned transparency into a powerful weapon. Every Chinese maneuver, every water cannon blast or blockade is caught on camera by the Philippine Coast Guard. These videos are quickly released to the world, countering China's narrative and exposing the reality at sea. The footage makes it clear who the aggressor is, shaping global opinion and putting diplomatic pressure on Beijing. Transparency also acts as a deterrent, making Chinese commanders think twice before escalating. The constant spotlight raises the stakes for China, damaging its reputation as a responsible power. For Philippine crews, the camera is a non-lethal shield. This flow of information keeps the issue on the global agenda, ensuring every incident is seen and discussed worldwide. The strategy helps Manila build and maintain international support. Other countries use this evidence to justify their own diplomatic actions. By shining a light on gray zone tactics, the Philippines makes its struggle a shared concern. The world can't look away, and that's exactly the point. Assertive transparency is now a core pillar of Manila's defense. Beyond security, the Philippines is quietly reducing its economic dependence on China. Manila is strengthening trade and investment ties with Japan, South Korea, Australia, and the EU, making its economy more resilient. New free trade agreements and high-quality investments in sectors like energy and digital infrastructure are key. This economic pivot isn't about cutting off China, but about rebalancing for long-term independence. A diverse economy gives the Philippines the strength to stand firm in the West Philippine Sea. Economic resilience is a silent but powerful assertion of sovereignty. A credible defense is essential to the Philippines' strategy. The armed forces of the Philippines is shifting from internal security to external defense, modernizing its Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard. New ships, jets, and patrol vessels, many from allies, extend Manila's reach in the West Philippine Sea. The Coast Guard, now better equipped, is on the front lines protecting fishermen and resupplying outposts. Modernization isn't just about hardware, it's about training and interoperability with partners. Joint exercises with the US, Australia, and Japan build skills and send a strong signal of resolve. A stronger AFP, backed by allies, deters aggression and stabilizes the region. The message is clear: the Philippines is serious about defending its sovereignty. Modernization is a long-term investment in national security. The region is safer when Manila stands ready. The Philippines is writing a new playbook for middle powers facing larger rivals. Power today isn't just about military size, it's about legal arguments, alliances, and narrative control. Manila's legal victory set a precedent for using international law to level the field. Coalition building has turned a bilateral dispute into a global cause. Assertive transparency has won the battle for public opinion. These strategies are low-cost, high-impact, and accessible to any nation. The Philippines proves that a determined David can stand up to a Goliath. Its approach is now a model for others defending their rights. The world is watching and learning. The Philippines' assertiveness is rippling through ASEAN. While consensus is hard, Manila's transparency campaign is inspiring other claimants like Vietnam and Malaysia. There's a growing sense of solidarity among Southeast Asian nations defending their rights under UNCLOS. The Philippines is pushing ASEAN to finalize a meaningful, binding code of conduct with China. This stance is forcing tough conversations within the bloc about regional security. Manila's leadership is shifting ASEAN toward a more principled, unified approach. The goal: a South China Sea that's peaceful, stable, and open to all. The future remains uncertain, with risks of escalation ever present. The Philippines must balance firmness with caution, defending sovereignty while avoiding open conflict. Sustaining this strategy requires political will, public support, and continued investment in defense and diplomacy. Managing economic ties with China is crucial to avoid crippling retaliation. Internationally, Manila must keep its coalition strong through constant engagement. The South China Sea is now the testing ground for the rules-based maritime order. If legal rulings are ignored, the consequences will be global. By defending the 2016 award, the Philippines is upholding a principle that matters to all nations. This is a contest between rule of law and rule by force. The world is watching as the Philippines holds the line for everyone.